Hey, so Christina, when was the last time you have worked in an office?
Well, it's been a while. I think the last time when I had an office space that is my own, like a cubicle or room, is 2017. And later on, I moved to jobs that basically operated on inside the agile working space. So it's still the office, but they basically retrofit it in such a way where everyone can work anywhere else. So it could be hot desk, it could be on the couch, it could be in a pantry, or even in meeting room. So it was kind of quite liberating in the sense you don't have all your belongings with you, but you have got lockers that you put your stuff, but you just kind of, able to carry your computer anywhere. And I think that was a great thing because it allows you to have your own personal space when you want to, and for you to bring your laptop around and meet with people for discussion. So what about you, Colin? When was the last time you have a physical working space?
That was 2016 actually, when I was still working in the organization, my organization that I worked for 20 years. Yeah, but today, I think, like you, I just work from anywhere, work from home, work at a couch like this, and even, work in a Starbucks.
Oh, yeah. So why do you like going to Starbucks? Because the coffee?
No. But I guess, it's because when a client asks to meet up, right, Starbucks is a very neutral place to meet at. Even though he has an office, sometimes they just don't want to do that. Right. And there's no purpose to also. So we meet at Starbucks and it's casual. There's coffee as well. Yeah. So increasingly, I think more and more small business owners like myself, even self-employed and solopreneurs, they are meeting in places like this.
Actually, when we were transitioning to an agile working space, one of the consideration was we might be discussing topics that are confidential.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So sometimes it's good to have like a more private spaces to sort of meet up and do some discussions. Yeah. But still comfortable.
Yeah, but you brought a good point because Starbucks may not be the ideal venue to meet. One thing sometimes when I meet there for too long, I get pressure because the staff starts to chase us out, and sometimes it can get pretty noisy. So there was once where one of my clients, that was a few years back, okay, he invited me to meet in his office, but it is not his office. It's actually a co-working space.
Right.
And that was my first experience going to a co-working space. There is security, so to speak, in which there's a concierge there where I need to be let in. I cannot just walk in just like any Starbucks. And that walked me, in a way already. And when I entered the space, it was, wow, okay, this place looks like Google, looks like Facebook. The furniture are colorful, there are plants everywhere, there are open spaces, there are closed spaces, there are 200 seats down there. You can sit anywhere you like. There's a ping pong table, there's a pantry, and there's even a cafeteria there. So when I met up with him, I was, half the time I'm not really talking about business, but talking about how wonderful this place is.
Right.
And to him, I think he must have felt that this is, he's very proud to be there.
Yes.
Because in a way, it is his office. But he doesn't pay the traditional rent that is needed in such an office. So co-working space really had a value proposition.
Definitely. It is a kind of example of a sharing economies, right? So it's like many businesses share in the same kind of resources, and that defray basically the business costs. In fact, the first time I went to a working space was actually with WeWork. I went there to be interviewed on a podcast, and I actually love the space. It's plush, it's beautiful, and like you say, all those security feature. But for businesses who rented a space in there, it was they don't have to pay the cost of retrofitting the whole thing. And so that was quite a refreshing thing. In fact, one of the biggest names is WeWork, right, as you know. And when WeWork created their immediate competitions were basically the real estate players. So in the past, when you wanted to have an office, you can either rent an empty space, retrofit it, or you want to basically have plug and go, that kind of thing. So you basically would just go to a service office. And back then it was very functional. It was just desk and a door, and that's it, right?
Yeah, very boring.
Maybe just printer. And so they, in a way, was quite refreshing in that your working space now has got not just productive spaces, but as connection spaces. So that, for example, the sofa that you were sitting in, the lounge that you were there, coffee was there. People have discussion, conversation, but also it's a socialization place, right? And you can also have event spaces. There are also activities and just sense of community. And so how I think was quite interesting for me as a business, it was that they repositioned themselves not just as another real estate player, but they call themselves a tech-enabled, tech-enabled lifestyle platform.
Okay, lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle in a sense because it's actually the interactions, the social aspect as well. Yeah.
But tech, a bit far-fetched. Lifestyle, I understand, but tech, not so much. But anyway, like what we are talking about, how refreshing a co-working space is, that was pre-COVID. But today, when I go into a co-working space, I don't feel that it is that refreshing anymore. In fact, I feel that it's kind of cold.
Right.
Yeah, and the hustle and bustle that I experienced before generally aren't there anymore. There are definitely a lot less users. Yeah, and like the novelty may have gone off. So what happened? In the space of just, I don't know, like 5-6 years, is co-working space not a thing anymore?
No, I think it's still very much a thing. There's still a need for spaces like this. As you know, with COVID, it has brought all of us back home to work remote, and I think over time we got used to working from home, and companies begin to build their processes around this new phenomenon and to enable accountability while remote working. And so as a result, I think there's still quite a number of businesses that will have coexistence of remote workforce and as well as workforce that are working in the workspace.
Okay.
And so that's number one. Number two is I think there are a lot more players. Back then it was maybe WeWork is one of the biggest one. They have at one stage 700 over locations in 100 over cities.
Wow. Okay.
But over time you see also no new players coming on board as well. There's Justco and there's so many, the Great Room, and quite a number of different players. So in a way, the already reduced base of potential user is now diluted by all those new players. Yeah.
So you mentioned about WeWork. Okay, I think everyone has heard about the failed IPO of WeWork. Was that back in 2019?
2019. Yeah.
2019. So focusing on just WeWork itself, right? Aside from all the things that you mentioned, why did it fail?
Well, I think there were quite a number of different factors, but what was the most how all this come to the light was with IPO you have to do some due diligence in terms of looking at all the financials and all the numbers, and they discovered as early as 2017 there were major losses incurred by the company. Of course, there were other practices that contributed to I think bad financial management and some questionable practice. So yeah, the losses, one part of it was got to do with really how they did not manage really revenue and cost component well. Like it was found out that they have a lot of locations up to 700, right? They were locked into long lease term. And of course the advantage is you get it maybe at a slightly lower prices per lease term, but it means 700 location multiplied, it's quite a hefty amount, right? But at the same time, their revenue model was very much month by month membership, right? So you can't, as you know, when COVID happens, within 2-3 years, things really change. Can you imagine a time where when people are not going to the space anymore, they cancel their membership your cost is still there in terms of lease.
Yeah.
So your month by month membership thing is hard to predict and to ensure that it will cover the cost over time commitment.
And how long did those leases last at that time?
I think my understanding was a lot of them were as long as 10 to 15 years.
10 to 15
Yeah,
years.
I mean, you can't even predict what happened in the next 5 years, right?
And
so that was one of the main reasons as well.
I see. Okay.
So it's a case for me, it's a case of really unique economics that has to be refined before they expand. And I think they were expanding too fast.
Okay.
700 locations, and we cannot assume that all location has got the same demographic or the same demand, right? The cost is going to be there to stay, but your demands changes,
Definitely.
right? And even for expansion of retail outlets, I was in the retail line. Whenever we bid for our new stores, we will study the locations and look at the demands before we decide what price we should be prepared to pay for it. So it could be one of those factors where it was just gone too big too fast.
Okay. You use the term unit economics. Can you explain a little bit more?
So it's about, let's say if your business have multiple modules, right? So 1 store, 2 store, 3 stores. And in let's say the case of one location, there is a cost of sustaining the location. Could be manpower, real estate, right? That could even be, in some cases, logistics or whatever.
Okay.
If you're in the e-commerce business. So, and then there's a factor of, with this location, how many people can you serve, what kind of customer can you serve, how much are they willing to pay, therefore the potential revenues that you can get from there, right? Is this sustainable?
Got it.
And then from there, then we say, okay, we are getting at X% return margin. This is the margin that we have to sustain in order for our business to expand. And then you multiply into multiple locations, 2 locations, 5 locations, 10 locations. Are the same cost component going to remain, or are you able to achieve economy of scales through maybe smarter allocation of resources? For example, when you set up one store, you have some back-end office costs, like your printer, your subscription, whatever. Are you able to share with the back office, or do you have to recreate the same back office again, right? So this is what I mean by example, how you can achieve centralized allocation, you can achieve economy of scales. So when you're not able to get better efficiency, you expand, it is very unpredictable, right? The same kind of cost, but you cannot predict what the demand is going to be.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's important when you expand to look at all those stuff.
That reminds me of a story of a F&B store that I have experience in. Okay, let's not name them, but they are pretty popular on social media. So they were selling Japanese food. Okay, and this store they operate mainly in HDB coffee shops.
Right.
Yeah, and so definitely when you do that, your cost factors are a lot lower than if you were to open a restaurant. Okay, so I believe he started out with one store, and so what happened was very quickly he got good positive review, good footfall, and good traffic coming in and buying from him. But very soon after, in a matter of weeks or even at the most 2-3 months, he opened up another 2-3 stores.
Wow, that's fast.
Okay, and within 1.5 years, he got something like 10 or 12 stores.
Wow.
Yeah, all across the island even. Okay, but at that peak, he started to lose money because there were a lot of costs involved when it comes to opening an F&B, as we all know.
Yes.
Rental, manpower.
Yes.
Even like you mentioned about the unique economics.
Yeah.
So from there, I'm quite sure he doesn't have a central kitchen, and everything is prepared decentralized.
Yes.
And because of that also, and maybe again, like what we talk about co-living space, the novelty went off. And so from the peak of 10 or 12 outlets, he closed down to 3.
Right.
And that was the first time that I encountered the business owner himself, having dined at one of his outlets. So at that point of time, he was sharing with me that he has 3 outlets left, and he's focusing his efforts on these 3. He was asking me about, how does the food taste, is the price good or not. I mean, to me, if you are opening up at a coffee shop, there's a certain baseline that you have, and usually the expectation isn't that high. But the price point cannot be too high as well.
Sure.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I think just a few months before, all his branches have closed down. And he made the news that he was like $550,000 in debt, and his empire, so to speak, fizzled out within 2 years. So I see there is maybe some similarities in the lessons to be learned from WeWork to be applied in this particular F&B outlet. Do you think so?
I think so. I think it's tough. I always believe that F&B business is tough because you are dealing with quite a number of components that need to be juggled. First is the manpower cost, right? Yeah. So you need to hire, for each store you need to hire at least 2 people, right? Assuming they don't take leave, they don't fall sick, to man the store. Yeah. And then there's also the real estate cost, the lease, right, of the location. Those are fixed costs that can't go away. Then there's also the component of your competitions. Your competitions, they may have similar stores selling similar items as well.
Definitely.
So that will eat away your market shares. And then, but last but not least, is also the skilled workforce. To be able to deliver the taste and replicate it in multiple locations, you need to train the cook. Yep. Right. So one of the challenge for a lot of F&B business is really taste consistency.
Yes.
Right? You may do well for one, but if you want to replicate it, is the owner the one cooking it, or is the chef, the cook, trained the same way that they can deliver the same products, right? Same quality. So there are multiple things to juggle, right? So that goes the complexity. And if you look at what in the WeWork case, right? So there is they also have the unit economics they could consider. So how much the store cost and the manpower cost and everything else, how much audience, rather customers can you attract? If it's a big coffee shop, yes, maybe the footfall is high. You can get a good chance to get enough customers to buy from you. In some cases, where it's a different location or whether it's not close to any MRT station or any main transport hub where the footfall is lesser, you can't command the same amount of traffic.
Yep.
Right. So it's kind of hard to challenging. So it's important actually before he expands so fast and to manage his costs, one is to look at the locations, to look at the competitions, look at what is potential addressable market, or rather people who be willing to pay for it. If you want to recover your cost by the charges, there's also the pricing component.
Yep.
You mentioned, right? So it's like if the price yourself too high, people may not buy. Right? So it has to be a sweet spot as well. So I think it's really the need to get their business economic right before they expand. So at the moment he expands too fast, he has got all these things compounded and he has to cope it, but he don't have an established system to cope with it.
Yeah.
So this is what I think we talk a lot we touch on a lot in like a lot of startup conversation, is the need for you when you launch your products or your business into a new market or new sector is to do product market validations. And what that means basically is to test that there are people who wants your products and is willing to pay for it.
Yeah, and I think in the case of F&Bs as well, there usually is this factor of novelty. Because usually when they open, they open with a fanfare, with good social media, with influencer marketing, right? You will see a spike in traffic.
Definitely. For
the first 2-3 months. And if let's say the owner mistakes that for demand across a longer period, then he's rushing it. Okay. Like you say, expanding too fast. So had this Japanese store, for example, like patiently wait for 1 year, maybe 1.5 years, when he sees through a whole cycle, then he knows, maybe it's not a very good idea to expand.
I think that's a good point, right? So it's like, when do you think is a good time to expand? Is when you are, I feel is when you are attracting customers that are not within your direct geo, right? That there is a popularity, there's a demand somewhere else, and that demand drive you to start a new store.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so it's also about building brand awareness, following, and establishing your quality, right? So it's like, it's been tried and tested, and over a period of at least 6 months to a year, right? There is a consistent demand, and you're able to manage costs. Over time, you should also look at how you can do your efficiency better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's like, if you are expanding to like 10 to 12 stores, at the example that you mentioned, then it does make a lot of sense to make sure he actually have a centralized resources, maybe a central kitchen, whatever, that will minimize, right, some of the duplicated costs, setup costs that is required. I feel that could be one thing that could have been done as well.
Okay. So Christina, if let's say a small business or maybe a startup, is thinking about expanding, or they are at the stage of scaling up, what advice would you give to them?
I would say, maybe not so much a startup, maybe a scale up, right? They are planning to expand. It's to make sure they get their basic unit economics right. So they have their value chain in the right place, right? So how are they, is their process efficient, things like that? Are they able to maintain the same quality, same efficiency? So get that right. So it's about doing audit of that and just fixing the gaps before expanding to a new location or a new market, right? And testing it without going in. So I've got cases where I work with business where they were expanding to a new market. Instead of diving everything in, they offer maybe a fraction of their total service just to test the market, right? With minimum cost. So instead of, for example, getting staff in there, they transfer their methodology. They work with maybe an outsourced party, a strategic partner, who has got knowledge of the local market. Test it first before they set up the operations, right? So it's the same way. In my past life when I was in agency as well, a lot of the way agency expand their operations is also because they have got a clients that has got a market, a new market that they're launching, but the client has already established experience working with this company, and therefore it justifies setting up a new team in there. So in the same way, I feel it's about measuring and gauging your potential demands. And it all goes back to really doing your product market validation, making sure there's enough demand, they want to pay and they're willing to pay for it, right? And that you're able to manage your costs. So can you do one thing and you replicate it, multiply it? Is the multiplying effect at your expense of your operating costs? Or is the multiplying effect contributing to you in terms of revenue? So that's two different things, and it's important to look into all of those stuff.
Yeah. And in addition to this, you are able to advise how to do it as well, right?
Yeah, we will look into
because we are talking about, like scaling up or expanding. There are many ways of doing it. It's not a matter of just opening up another branch, opening up another outlet. There are other ways to expand and increase your revenue and this sort of that.
Yes. So I do a lot of advisory in the area of product market validations. So before, it's really advising what is the best way to test the market. So it could be products, it could be partnership, it could be different tie-up, for example, just to test the response and interest in that market. And in a lot of the time, business fail because they're not doing the test correctly, or with the wrong kind of people. Right? So you ask your friends and relatives, they'll say, "Oh yeah, it's great, no, fantastic." But will they buy from you? Maybe they will not. So this is where I can come in to really help them to design how do you go about testing. Not just that, but also marketing-wise as well. Marketing-wise, how do you do testing, A/B testing of different offers, different value propositions.
You see, even like especially for a small business owner like me, when I hear what you say, it sounds sort of scary. Like, do I have the means and the scale to be able to get your advice? Like, you know what I do, right? You know, I run a small video production company.
Yeah.
Is there merit for me to get advice from you also? Because ultimately, I also need to scale my business.
Definitely.
Yeah, I want to make more so that, you know, I will be able to give more value back to the market. So are you able to help a small business like me to scale up, to expand?
Definitely. It's really to get an outsider view, to a neutral perspective into the way you approach your business model, and to see the blind spots, right? And you may already, in your due diligence in finding new markets and launching markets, talk to potential buyers, but it's to, in a way, bridge any gaps that you may have, right? And also point you to potential partners, potential directions that you could explore.
Okay.
So definitely that is, because from my perspective is, with my background, I actually work with different industries, and there's a lot of merit in cross-pollinating ideas and getting inspiration from different industries. Sometimes we've been so close to a particular sector, you may not know what's available out there. But a lot of the time, the business principles are applicable across all, and it's really where I come in to deliver values, where I help you to connect the dots and say, okay, actually you can do this, but twist it this way, and apply it into your business.
Very good, very good. Then I tell you what, I look forward to you helping me in scaling my business for
Looking
this year.
forward to that.
Yes, and I'll bring you to Starbucks.
Great.
Okay?
Cool. Sounds
All right,
good.
right. Thanks.
Thanks, Colin.
All right.